Austin for under $500,000. Today I'm going to take you around and kind of show you the best parts of town where you can get the best bang for your buck for under $500,000. Generally speaking, if you're going to spend under $500,000, you're going to be kind of on the perimeters of Austin on the north, east, and southern sides, not the west. So I've got 3 houses down on the south side and 1 up north I'm going to show you today that I think are the best choices available for under $500,000. Hi, I'm Nicole Cooper. My team and I get calls and emails from people just like you needing help moving in and around Austin, Texas, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move today, tomorrow, or somewhere in between, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We're always available to help you find the perfect home that matches your lifestyle. Now let's get started on these houses. All right, let's start with an overview map here. These are active properties in Austin, Texas, up to $500,000. So you can see how they are spread around kind of the outskirts of downtown. Here's downtown, kind of the hot pocket of Austin, and you'll notice there are none over here in Westlake. Hills are the west side of town, and that is because there are the highest prices on the west side of town. So we have our properties clustered to the north, east, and to the south. As far as the properties we're going to see today, we're going to be down here in this area. We're going to see 3 properties down here, and we're going to see 1 property right up here to give you an idea on both sides of town. I did not choose any on the east side because for the most part, they were not in good condition. The ones that I chose to view today are ones that have been remodeled. Now, I want to show you the difference between the single family homes and the condominiums and townhouses under $500,000. So you can see that if you can, choose to live in a townhome or a condo, you can get all this downtown area. So condos, by and large, run a little bit cheaper than single family homes, but they will have that HOA fee tagged onto it most of the time, so you need to be aware of that going into it. So this is our overall map view. Let's get started. And also, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to tell you the difference between the condo living and single family home living, the pros and cons of each, of living in the condos and single family. So stick around for that at the end. So we're here at our first example on the south side of town, and this one's pretty cozy little house here, but it has been remodeled, so it's nice. It's listed for $419,000. That puts it at $456 per square foot. It's 918 square feet. It's a 3-bed, 1.5 bath, built in 1971, and it's on 0.15 acres. So this little house here is a perfect example of just if you're able to keep a little bit cozier of a house, a little bit smaller of a house, you can get in for $419,000. And this street, it has the beautiful mature trees because it has been, this community is a 1970s community. So it's had plenty of time to mature and have the beautiful trees lining the streets. All right, let's carry on to our next one. Now this next example is a little bit different. So for the most part, you're gonna find the smaller homes built in the 60s, 70s in these communities that are under $500,000. But this one is a condominium community, a little community tucked back in where the other 70s and 80s homes are. And this one was built in 2007. So you get a little bit newer construction, a lot cheaper, especially price per square foot because the homes are built so close together. They don't share a wall, so with single family like living, but they are condos. So let's take a look at this first one right here. So here's that condo. It's listed for $444,900. That puts it at $215 a square foot. 2,067 square feet, 3 beds, 2.5 baths, and like I mentioned, built in 2007. So this is another option you can get down on the south side of town for a much better bang for your buck when you go condo. And here's the front entry of the community here. a nice little gated area, nice and safe and secure for you. Now, the difference in condos and single family homes in Austin is that when you are permitted as a condo, you're able to build homes a lot closer together to each other's. Now, typical condos are shared walls, but the new version, I mean, it's not brand new, it's been around for a couple of decades, but they look like a single family home. They don't have any shared walls. They most likely have garages and maybe even a tiny yard. But the developers can get away with packing in a lot more of these close together because there aren't as big as setback lines. So on single family setback lines, you have to be a certain distance from your neighbor on the sides, 5 feet on either side, and then 10 feet in the back, and so on and so forth. And on condos, you can be so much closer. So the developers started making these kind of hybrid products so that they could put more houses, condos, on one piece of land and get more bang for their buck as far as developing that particular piece of dirt. And this is that example of that hybrid condo. All right, let's keep going ahead to our next one. Now this next one is our highest example at $499,000, coming in just at under $500,000. But this one is a little bit higher because it's a tiny bit bigger than the ones that we saw first. In addition, it's the closest one to central or downtown Austin. And everything that gets closer to downtown Austin brings a little bit more of a premium. So this one here is listed for $499,000. That puts it at $424 a square foot. That's 1178 square feet, 3 beds, 2 baths, and it was built in 1963. It's on just under 1/4 acre, and like the other ones that we saw, the first one, it has been updated as well. Now, some things you're going to need to think about if you're going to buy a home that was built in the 60s or 70s is the systems. First of all, the electrical system. Does it have aluminum wiring? And if it does, it's okay, but has it been updated with the little pigtails in to make it safe for today's standards? And next is the plumbing. So most of these guys you'll see, of the ones that we've seen today, they're all on slab foundation. And so if you have trouble with your plumbing and it's a slab, it's not an easy fix. And when the homes were built back in the 60s and 70s, they could have even had clay pipes coming out to the street. So we're talking about the pipes that the water is running out of your house. And so what can happen is over time, those pipes break, a tree root grows through them, they just wear out, rust out, and they will start leaking somewhere. And if it's under the slab and it causes a wet pooling under the slab, it could cause your slab to move and crack. And so these are things you are going to want to have checked out when you're in your inspection phase or your option period. And you know, it's not a reason to not buy a home, but it is definitely something that your realtor should know about and have checked out during the due diligence phase. You can get a hydrostatic plumbing test. You do need to have permission for the owner, so it's all part of the negotiation, but it definitely needs to be done if you're thinking about buying one of these older homes. The good thing about these older homes in the neighborhoods, they have the wonderful trees, they have a bit more character and charm than some of the modern day homes that look all super similar to each other. These are a little bit different, but you just need to take your precautions on the front end, and when you work with an agent that knows what they're doing, they'll take care of you, just like I will. This property here is on the north side of Austin, and it's been remodeled like the other ones that we've seen so far today. However, this one is a condo and it is connected. Unlike the single family style condo we saw on the south side, this one is actually connected at the garage over here. So we have a right side unit and a left side unit. The right side unit is the one that's for sale, and it is listed for $475,000. Puts it at about $452 a square foot. It's 1,050 square feet, 3.2, and built in 1968. So you can see the different style here. The flat ranch style has been the case for all 3 of the older ones today, and then the single family style condo is more of that 2-story traditional look. So all in all, if you're looking to spend less than $500,000 and you want to stay somewhat close to downtown or central Austin, you're probably going to end up with something a little bit smaller, a little bit older, or maybe a condo. Now, condos, you have to be careful and make sure those HOA fees aren't outrageous. Some condos you can find with no fees at all, like this one here. So you just have to do your due diligence on the front end, but I hope this has given you a good idea of what you can expect for under $500,000 in Austin. All right, condo versus single family home. What are the pros and cons of the ownership styles? Well, first of all, let's look at the difference here. So this is a typical single family home that everyone is familiar with. Now, condos have changed over the years and have taken on many new forms and shapes. So this one here in the middle would be kind of what traditionally would be considered a condo, where they're stacked on top of each other. You share multiple walls. Then over time, they have changed to this bottom left corner. They look more like a home, but they're attached at just one side. There's no one living above you or underneath you, just to the side. Then developers got a little more creative, and this one here in the top right corner is connected almost like a duplex style. So the garage is in between the two units, and it's only connected at the garage. It's still a condo though. And then this bottom right corner is kind of the newest version of what developers are doing. And I know it's a little bit hard to see this unit here in the back because it's dark black, but these are two separate units, no attached walls, and this is called an A-B unit or a 1-2 unit or a main house with an accessory dwelling unit. And lastly, I did not post it because it looks much like this house here, is the hybrid, where it does look like a single family home with no walls attached at all, but it's still a condo, and you saw one of those in our examples today. So what is the difference between a condo and a single family home? Well, the main difference is the ownership style. In a house, you own the land and the structure on top of it. You own everything. So this is going to give you more freedom, flexibility, more privacy, and it generally appreciates quicker than a condo. In a condo style ownership, you own the unit plus a percentage of the whole. If there's only 2 units, you own 50% of the whole. If there's multiple units, you own a portion of the total whole. And that portion that you share is the amenities, the common areas, basically the entire condominium project itself. The next difference is the maintenance and responsibilities. In a single family home, you're responsible for all the maintenance, upkeep, and landscaping. And in a condo, you're generally going to have the association that takes care of all the exterior as well as the amenities and common areas. Now, some condos, when they have just those 2 unit style, they may not have any HOA at all, and they still act as a home, whereas you have to take care of all the outside and landscaping yourself. So things have kind of transformed over time, so you just need to know the rules before you go in and make your purchase. The third set of differences is cost and investment. On a single family home, typically you're going to have a higher purchase price and maintenance cost because you're covering everything, but you're going to have more flexibility. You're going to have probably more appreciation than a condo. In addition, you can create your own rental terms. Now, there will be some city codes here and there about short-term rentals, but by and large, you can make the rules about how long you want to rent to somebody. On the flip side, in a condo, they're generally cheaper getting in on the investment side in the same area as the homes, but they are going to have those HOA fees, and it depends where you are as to how high they are. For example, in downtown Austin, they may be over $1,000 or $2,000 a month because they come with 24-hour security service, swimming pool, gym, concierge services, things like that. If you're further out of town, the condo may not have anything other than keeping up the exterior insurance and maintenance. So it would be, much closer to just a couple hundred to a few $100s a month. But that needs to be assessed on the front end because that will determine how much home you can afford. You can purchase a higher priced home with no HOA than a condo with, say, a $500 HOA fee. And I'll explain that a little bit more when we get to the end. In a condo, you're also going to have more rules. They are going to tell you how long and to whom you can rent the property to. The majority of condominiums in Austin, Texas will not allow short-term rentals. There are a couple here and there, but by and large, you need to read those rules very carefully before you make your purchase if that's something that you want to do. The fourth, lifestyle. In a house, in a single family property, you're going to have a bit more space and privacy. You can do with what you want in the yard, have a garden, room for pets, children's, kind of just room to roam on your own. In a condo, you're not typically going to have a yard, but it may be perfect for someone that wants very low maintenance. You don't need a lawnmower, you don't need a water hose, you don't need any of those types of things. Now we're talking more traditional condo and less like those hybrid condos that look like a house. But generally speaking, your condos are going to be lower maintenance. And a lot of times people get these as a second home or a home where they may have to come to Austin for work. So they don't want the general exterior upkeep and lawn care. Also, the condos are going to be, typically speaking, as you saw at the map at the front of this video, is they're going to be more in the central downtown areas, more walkable to restaurants, bars, offices, things like that. Lastly, the legal aspects. In a single family home, they may or may not have an HOA. In central Austin, largely there are no homeowners associations, but as you get further out, communities have their own homeowners associations, and with those come their own rules. Again, you read those on the front end before you make the purchase and know if you can live with them or not. Like if you want chickens in the backyard, you probably are not going to want a homeowners association. On the flip side, the condos all have homeowners associations, and they regulate everything from noise levels to types of pets to exterior decoration and the works. So again, you need to be sure you can live with their rules if you want to buy into that community. So now I'm going to show you what it takes to kind of make the jump between a single family home and a homeowners association by way of cost. All right, we're going to take a look here at the cost breakdown for the single family home versus a condo. First of all, you need to look in these columns because these are our mortgage rate columns, and they run from 4 to 7%, but right now we're going to focus on 7% because as of today, we are over 7% for a mortgage interest rate. And the monthly here, this is per $100,000. So if we look at a home that costs $500,000 with no HOA fee at 7%, it's going to cost you $3,325 per month. If we take that same price tag and put it on a condo that has an HOA fee of $350 a month at 7%, that puts you at a $3,675 a month payment. Now this is just for principal and interest. This is not for taxes and insurance. So if we look at it the other way around, you want to keep this same payment of $3,325 a month, then we're going to have to search for a condo that is less expensive because at 7% for every $25,000, it costs $166 per month. So if we want to keep that same payment of $3,325, we would need to shop for a condo that costs under $450,000. So you can see how that HOA fee directly impacts in a big way the price of a project that you can shop for. So if you can find a home with no HOA for $500,000, or if you want a condo, that payment for the monthly fee is $350,000, then you need to be under $450,000 to make all things equal. So the story of Austin real estate, for the most part, the closer you want to be to downtown, the more expensive it is. We're one of those cities where everyone wants to be near the action, and the most of the action is downtown Austin. So if you want to spend $500,000 but don't want to be so cramped, you want a little bit more space, maybe something newer, we've got it. You just have to go a little bit further from town. So if something resonated with you today and you want to see more in person, give me a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We're always available to help you find the perfect home that matches your lifestyle. Until next time, I hope to see you around town.